Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Saturday, June 11th. Lots of activity on the impact map on the left today. That record or near record heat continues for about the southern half of the region, but cooler temperatures, 20 degrees or cooler, with showers across the higher terrain of northern Idaho starting to sag southwards. We do have some winds here in the orange, not critical. The fuels are critical down south. These are 20 to 30 mile per hour winds. Still play a role in fire spread, not beyond the 30 mile per hour critical gust range that we typically use for any warnings. But we do have that on Sunday. The strong front barrels on in. The coolness, of course, on the northern side, you can tell where the front is, but it's this southern area, and we've delegated it in purple where we can see gusts anywhere from 40 to 55 miles per hour. And those winds will sag further south and still affect our far southern and eastern areas on Monday, but about 80% of the area will see much cooler temperatures, 15, 20 degrees cooler. Um, so that will play a role as we go into the middle of the week. No significant lightning or precipitation for the area. Fire activity is picking up. New fire starts in the red circles, recent or existing fires in the yellow. Of course, we had the larger fire down by a hurricane down south, several hundred acres so far. Um, it's been bone dry. You can see on the right-hand side near 0% of normal precip in the areas in the dark red. You can see on the left where the past week we've had no precipitation. And you can see the response in the 100-hour fuels, midsummer July levels in this red area at or below 5%. So with everything that's cured out in the southern areas, things can burn quite actively. On the satellite imagery, strong high pressure over New Mexico. The heat still building, but we have this belt of strong winds with cooler temperatures. You can pick up the cold front in clouds and showers pushing from the Pacific Northwest into parts of northern central Idaho. You can also see some pre-monsoonal moisture starting to gather in Mexico into parts of Arizona. So for today, you can see some of that pre-monsoonal moisture going into the mountains of New Mexico. Could be some isolated showers and thunderstorms there, maybe some locally heavy downpours, hopefully. But for us, you can see the dry tongue of air in the southern areas, the coolness up north. You can almost pick out that cold front right around here. On the right-hand side are a 7-day where things are benign in the green, marginal in the yellow, and critically dry here. So again, we'll have some strong winds, not warning criteria here where our fuels are dry, more in the 20 to 30 mile per hour range. We will have strong winds in northwest Nevada, more like 30 to 40, as well as up in Idaho, but the humidities there should be at or above 20% or even higher up north. It's these drier humidities that'll be a big concern. Now, for tomorrow, a big concern as this trough digs southwards, strong cold front, right around when you see the cursor through here, but it's this dry wedge of air that we are concerned about with this. We've issued high risk for winds, which also correspond with Arizona and adjacent New Mexico and adjacent western Colorado. And the reason for it, you can see it here. A lot of these purple shades through here indicate winds of gusts of 40, close to 50 miles per hour, maybe some locally higher gusts, 50 to 60, again, up in northwestern Nevada. But you can see the humidity levels there really rising up, well up above 30%. But again, bone dry once you get south of the I-80 corridor. We continue with high risk conditions for Monday, starting to push further south and east. Strong cold front. You can pick out where the front is, and north of the front will be a sharp cool down, but still you can see very strong winds here, probably pushing 50 miles per hour in a few areas here. And the wedge of dry air gets smaller and smaller, but it is still there across eastern and southern, or at least southeastern Utah in the single digits. But you can see once you get towards Price or so, and in the Basin, it's above 20%, even above 20, near 20% down by Cedar City. 3-day precip totals, this will come in with the front over the next 2-3 days. Good amounts up in central Idaho. The rich get richer there, a half inch to an inch of rain. And then further down the road, a deep low pressure area shifts into the northern part of Montana and southern Canada. Still stay breezy, but much cooler temperatures and a bit of a rise in humidity. You can see our 7-day on the right-hand side. That continues on Wednesday. High pressure builds in. You can see the arc of high pressure, so we start warming up again. In many areas, you can see the corresponding warm up on the 7-day too, where some of the fuels that were green went yellow. You have brown through here, but at the same time on Thursday, you can see this gathering monsoonal moisture coming up from Mexico. There's another batch of it further south, and it's going to combine with this trough of pressure. It's dropping down from the Gulf of Alaska. It's going to enhance that moisture and push it northwards. And if you look from Thursday to Friday, and boom, there it is. Our first semi-monsoonal push of moisture through Arizona into much of at least the southern half of Utah. And we'll see if models keep this going. It's 7 days out, but we have modified our 7-day to reflect that rise in humidity, possibly some showers, but also with the first pre-monsoonal push, there will be lightning, and we'll have to watch the northern and western peripheries where it's still possible to get new starts and new growth. So we'll see how this plays out. The 7-day precip totals, and a lot of this stuff down south is later in the period. You can see the deep monsoonal moisture down into Mexico that will try to make it up. So a lot of these rain amounts are not very heavy, so any lightning could be a concern. And you look at the 8 to 14-day outlook, a big hodgepodge, much cooler than normal across much of the area, especially the western and Great Basin and Pacific Northwest. But look, again, the models for the long range showing a good monsoonal push continuing from the Four Corners into much of Utah and even up into Idaho. So we'll see how this plays out. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.